Hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So yesterday I canned ground beef and those chicken little smokies, kind of, they're little sausages. Anyway, and I took the ones back that were not good. I took those back to Costco today. And but I came home this afternoon and I want to make something with the ground beef for you. But I came home and I started washing these jars. I've already got a couple washed. And I looked and the lids and rings are not all oxidized. Like the past, oh gosh, 4 or 5 months, every lid is black and it's oxidized and it's just horrible. And so these were the lids that came in the case of canning jars. And I'm just curious why all of a sudden now they're back to, unless they changed who they have making them, because it's very possible. And while I'm washing these jars and taking the rings off, I make sure that that lid is on there good and tight. And sometimes the rings are on there a little tighter than I'm used to. But I just thought that was interesting. Maybe enough of us complain to fall and Kerr, and I think it's Ball though that I've been using. These are Kerr canning jars, and so maybe that's the difference. I'm not sure, but I thought I'd just put that out there for you guys to chew on a bit. And while I'm trying to decide, I'm going to make kind of a hamburger helper meal tonight. My husband loves that, and I actually, next time I do the stock or whatever you want to call this, the fat part of this, I will strain it off, but it'll be great for, I can strain it when I use it. I can take the fat off there and just use the good stock. So I'm going to finish washing these, and then we're going to get started on our hamburger helper. I've only had it out of a box a couple times in my lifetime. Just because I wasn't ever raised to cook like that. And you know, if you give me a box with a bunch of instructions, I'm more apt to mess it up than make it taste good. So it's a pretty big joke around here. I can do pizza from scratch from the dough on up, but if you give me a take and bake pizza, I burn it every time. So anyway, I'll be back and I'll show you what I'm cooking. All right, guys. All right, now that I'm back, I've decided that I'm gonna make a food storage meal. We're going to do food storage hamburger helper. Since I've really never had a hamburger helper, I'm going to be kind of winging it. I only had it a couple times, but I don't remember, I don't really remember. I know that it's basic dry ingredients, a pound of your own ground beef, and some pasta usually in there. So that's what we're going to do. And I've got some hot water that I just heated up in my nifty new gadget here. And I'm going to get ready to rehydrate some vegetables because that's what I have in my storage. So I've got about 3 tablespoons of dried onion, even though I guess I should tell you what we're going to have. We're going to have a taco bake, so a taco version. And so anyways, this is my taco seasoning, and it's got onion in there, but not enough. We like a lot of onion. I've got a can of green chilies. You could dehydrate your own, I suppose. I've got tomato sauce here. I've got some green onions that I dehydrated, and I'm just gonna put, just a handful of those, maybe a tablespoon of those in there. Because you'll see in the background here, I have fresh that I'll top it with. That thing's gone crazy. This is my dehydrated yellow corn, and this is from canned corn. So it rehydrates beautiful. I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of corn in there. We love corn. This is going to be good. All I had for pasta was salad pasta, but that's okay. And then, so I want to rehydrate that. And I'm going to strain it off, but I want to make sure it's got plenty of boiling water over top of that so it can rehydrate while we're doing everything else. Let's see, my ground beef, I don't know if you can see that. It is, you may or may not be able to see it. It's from May 2010. I don't want to use the stuff I just did because that would be not rotating properly. So, gotta rotate when you're doing, any kind of extended pantry. And I believe when I looked in my log for this, it said that I paid $1.99 a pound for the roast, and I ground it. So that was my own ground beef. Unless I was mistaken, that was the one I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain it off. I don't need the juice that's in there. I'm going to strain that off onto a dog bowl. And today, Sage is the winner. Winner, winner, dog bowl dinner. Okay. I really don't want her dish over there, but. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown this off in a skillet. I'm going to strain it off. I'm going to brown it off, and we're going to get to fixing some other stuff. And while my cast iron's heating up, these are the green onions that I planted. It's been 3 or 4 weeks now, but I've cut on them twice, and I just cut this one again day before yesterday, and it's already regrowing. So these are fabulous, you guys. Take advantage of, repurposing. This plant is thriving, and these are delicious. Taste just like you just bought them at the store and chopped them up. So I just cut those right off. Use them in anything you would. And somebody asked me on one of my last garden updates about the onion tops from the other onions. Could you use those like a scallion? Absolutely. So these smell wonderful, they taste wonderful, and I don't have to pay again and again. I just throw in a little water now and then. So there's a little update on those. Put them back in the greenhouse. This is a radish that somehow decided to make its way into that pot. So now let me chop those up. And they don't need to be washed because nothing's hit them that would make them dirty. So that's what we're doing. I'm excited to show you this. I'm excited to eat it. Every once in a while you gotta be creative and really just pull from your resources and say, okay, if I didn't have anything fresh and I had to depend on what I've put away, if there was a big storm or there was some other natural, man-made, doesn't matter, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna cry there's nothing to eat, or are you gonna get busy and figure it out? This girl's gonna get busy. And I was trying to think of something that I know my husband will eat the leftovers with too, and he will. In a situation where we weren't eating as usual, he'd probably eat the whole thing. He's a big eater, even though he doesn't look it. I don't want you guys to miss out on this, and I don't want you to think I'm pulling any wool over anybody's eyes, but so I want you to see the seal. As I'm opening this. It's always a good idea. Check here, check by lifting. It's been stored without the ring on. To kind of verify why I do that. I don't live in a humid climate. I'm in Nevada. But if any humidity got trapped under there, it could rust and eat away at that seal. The other thing is, if you did have a failed jar, I'd want to know about it right away, not okay, and yeah, it's probably a mess. I've never had one fail because I make sure before I put them away, as we all do. There's probably a failure in my future, but so far, I've been pretty blessed. So I'm going to open this, and then we do our sniff test. Wow, nice. Nice, nice. I don't reuse those a lot when they've been on meat. Maybe fruit and stuff like that. So I'm going to throw that away. Then I've got Sage's dog dish down here, and I'm just going to strain out that meat into a strainer. Smells good. Smells good. That's what we want. My pan is screaming hot. Oh, Sage gets a bonus. That's funny. All right, so I'm back and I'm over here at the skillet. It is kind of hot, and you know what? This is going to sput and spatter because this meat is wet. So, be ready. And I'm just going to get something I can push that around with. It when I can't find stuff because I just had it. Okay, so you're just gonna really brown it. I mean, it's obviously it's thoroughly cooked. Ground beef, ground turkey, any of the grind meats that you can do get rather soft. So you either like that or you don't. I'm gonna turn this background lighting out here. At least get it diffused a little. And I turned my pan down because I knew that was just going to sput and scream and carry on. So I'm going to continue to brown this off a little bit. Then I'm going to add my taco seasoning and my tomatoes, and it's going to be delicious, you guys. I'm excited. I can't wait. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, or see how, I mean, a pound of ground beef, it doesn't, I mean, in a jar, it's not going to go as far as you think. Now, if I had a family of 4 to feed, and they're only getting protein once a day, I might be a little concerned that this was enough. So what I'm going to do, is quit making noise for you. And I'm going to add some, I hope you can see this, textured vegetable protein. And I used to have the taco blend, but I'm going to add this to the mix. And let me tell you, nobody's ever going to know. I've done it over and over again when we've had surprise company. Okay, so now I'm going to add in my diced tomatoes. And I'm going to add in a half a can of tomato sauce. And the rest is going to be water. We're going to start with about 3/4 of a can of water because I've got to get pasta and my spice blend all rehydrated. So that takes some water, right? Okay. And the textured vegetable protein or the chicken flavor. It just stretches what you have. I mean, eating them by themselves, no, I'm not a great big fan. It's low fat, so you're not adding a bunch of fat to it. It does have some sodium, so take that in mind. Fiber, 3 grams of fiber, and it's only 60 calories. So it's not adding a lot of calories or anything, but protein-wise, let's see, what's the protein? Protein, it's 8 grams of protein, so you're adding a little bit of protein. So I'm going to add about 1/3 of a cup to this. I don't need a ton more, but I do want some more protein. All right, so I'm going to add in my taco seasoning. I'm going to add about half of that. It seems like a lot, but actually taco seasoning has quite a bit in a little package. That's my own blend, so I just kind of play it by ear. I'm going to taste it. And I stirred in my green chilies because, you know, I got to have some green chilies. I'm going to try to get some really good ones this summer and roast them and go ahead and dehydrate them because the roasted red peppers are amazing. So I don't know why that wouldn't be good. Now I'm going to drain off my vegetable blend, add my pasta, put the lid on, and as Bev would say, Bob's your uncle, you're cooking dinner. Anyway, she makes me laugh every time she says that. And this is a good handful of parsley. I just like to add a little extra green in there. And, okay, Pasta. That's a cup. I'm going to add a cup and a half of pasta. I'm going to try to make enough that, you know, it would feed a few people and be a nice hearty meal. So that's my goal. And I just use salad, pasta. You could use anything you had. Elbow macaroni. I don't really have a huge variety of pastas just because I don't need to. So I stir that all up. I gotta add my veggies, hold on. And I need to taste it to see if there's enough seasoning. The corn and the onions have rehydrated beautifully. Very excited. Canned corn rehydrates back almost perfect. I mean, you can't tell. The only thing that now that I'm doing this, that I would like to have on the shelf ready, is like little half-pint jars of black beans. Like for this application, that would be fabulous to have just a little jar of black beans already cooked. Just throw them in there, right? I'm trying to think if I could manage. I might add a can of black beans here, but let me taste spice-wise, and we're gonna need more water, I can tell you. And more spice. Okay, so it's gonna take the whole quarter cup. I'm gonna add some water. And we'll let her go. I'm gonna go get some black beans too. So, this is gonna be delicious. If at some point along the way you open it up and you don't feel like you have enough of something, you can always add it in there. So let me get the black beans and I'll be right back. Okay, so I thought a can of black beans would be too much, but I'm looking at it and I don't think so at all. And that too will add some extra protein. I've rinsed those. That was just a can, no seasoning, nothing. I've rinsed them off and they're going in, and look how good this looks already. Oh, you guys, I think this is what I'm taking for lunch tomorrow. Okay, so you can see it's kind of a soupy kind of consistency, and that's okay because that pasta is going to absorb a lot of that liquid. And so now my job is to shut it and forget it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so while everything is cooking, I have to tell you, oh my gosh, it is gonna be so good. And I'm gonna put the recipe in the description bar. I don't do that very often because if I decide to do a cookbook, you know, I want to be able to put it on my web page, but that's gonna be when I have time, maybe one less job. Anyway. But this one, I'm gonna go ahead and clue you in. I did add another half a cup of large elbow macaroni because, you know, it was a lot of stuff, and you know me, I'm not happy until I can't fit one more thing in that pot, which is kind of a sickness. I need to cook for an army. But this will feed us for a few days, and I can share lunch tomorrow with the girls, and they can tell me what they think. And when I tell them I took it out of my food storage, they'll look at me with that, what's that? Yeah, so we won't go there. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now is I am grating up some pepper jack cheese. Now, I know I can hear it already, but pepper jack, I bought a bunch of cheese this week that I need to wax again. So I'll be waxing cheese. This isn't quite in my extended pantry, but it's headed there, so I'm gonna grab it before it goes in. I didn't see a need. My cheese is not, the already waxed stuff is not old enough to worry about, so yeah. I'm gonna leave it alone and just keep adding to it. And so I'm just gonna add some of this to put on the top because it's gonna be delicious. And I'm trying to think what else I added to that, but go to your pantry, grab out the meat, no refrigeration whatsoever on any of this. grab it and put it together. How awesome is that? And there's enough in that pot to feed 6 to 8 people. Okay, you guys, I'm back for the finale here, and I can see that my pan, this is a heavy pot. When you get it full of food, it's not on the, there we go, the trivet. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate this up for you. Let me see if I can find a spoon or something that would be appropriate, that would look nice. Yeah, just a good old serving spoon, I guess. Anyway, so this cooked for a little while on the stove. I just cook it till the pasta's done. Look at that. It smells like we're having tacos tonight. And that isn't a bad thing. I don't know who you are, where you come from in the country. And look at that pile of food. I don't know. Can somebody come over for dinner? Because I don't know who's going to eat all this. Anyway, it's great because you can really put it together and forget it. And this was basically all out of food storage. So I'm going to put this down. It's got the pasta and the black beans, the TBP, the pound of my home canned ground beef. And it's homemade hamburger helper from food storage or your extended pantry, whatever you want to call it. We all call it something different, but okay. So there you go. I couldn't eat all that if I wanted to. I am going to top this with some shredded Jack cheese because I'm getting ready to put that into my extended pantry. And now, I've got these green onions, the tops that I took off of my transplanted, play it again, Sam, green onions. And I should taste that for you. Oh, I have to say, you guys, this looks and smells amazing. I'm going to bring you over for a close-up. Check that out. Doesn't that look good? And now we have, yum. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta take some pictures. Okay, so got a couple shots, and now I'm gonna taste it for you. Plus, it's cooler now. It's not like lava. Got some pasta, some black bean, some cheese. I can't wait. Wow. Oh, wow. That's delicious. You guys. Oh, that's so good. Even if I didn't have the cheese, just eating the pasta and the meat, delicious. And I know you guys got to admit, this would feed a lot of people. So, ooh, that's so good. I'm excited. I don't know, but I don't think homemade, or I don't think store-bought hamburger helper tastes like that. I don't know for sure, but I'm just guessing. Anyways, that's delicious. I hope you try it. I truly hope this inspires you to, you know, dig deep, get in the box of goodies that you have. You've got an arsenal of goodies in your pantry. Go ahead and pull them out. Put something together and make it delicious. This is going to feed, I could do 6 or probably 7 of these plates. And that's more than enough food for a person. So at least 6. We'll just say 6 hungry people. You throw some tortillas. I've got some whole wheat tortillas over there. Throw some tortillas together and you got dinner. What are you talking about? And it's high protein. It's good for you. There's nothing in there that's bad. I do want to remind you before I go, I've got my subscriber contest for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you is coming up on Sunday, so don't miss out, because right behind it, I'm going to have another contest, and it's going to be fun. I've thought long and hard on it, and some way to get you guys motivated, and it'll be fun. I hope. This one was really fun, and I can't wait to announce everything. And I hope if you haven't already put in a video, put it in now. So on this meal, I hope this inspires you. I hope that it makes you come back next time, because I got a ton of great videos coming up. And wow. I hope you give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you really like it, post it on your Facebook page. Pass it around. Everybody loves a new recipe. And this was cheap. So this is working on a budget, and people are working on budgets all over the country. So I hope it helps. And as always, God bless.